Hi, welcome back to Chemistry Laboratory. This is Dr. Rajshekhar Mirdi, Kabridahar University. Today we will discuss about the amazing experiment, very interesting experiment. Actually, day to day we are performing some experiments in the laboratory, which gives a lot of pleasure and joy as a chemist. What I mean to say is, chemistry is like a mystery without laboratory. But what can I say is, chemistry can perform history with the laboratory. So mystery means not understanding what is going on. Chemistry in the theory, when the teacher explains about chemistry in the classroom, it is all imagination. For example, X plus Y reacts together to form Z. Two reactants X and Y reacts together to form the product Z. It is an imagination. Just we believe that it is happened, but there is no proof for that. That is called as a theory class. But whereas the laboratory defines the reaction, the chemistry laboratory makes the reaction that is genuine, and the reactants X and Y react together to form the product Z, which is visible in this chemistry laboratory. That is why chemistry is not a mystery, but chemistry can create history. I mean to say that chemistry without laboratory is a mystery, but chemistry with the laboratory can create history. Right. Now today we will perform one very interesting experiment, that is recrystallization. What is the topic? Recrystallization. So what is recrystallization? We mean to say that the definition of recrystallization is a process of removal of impurities from the solid crystalline compound by using the suitable solvent. That is the definition of recrystallization. So for that experiment, we need to have the compound, chemical compound, organic compound, which is in crystalline solid compound. Let us find out from this rack what can we take to perform the recrystallization experiment effectively, physically and experimentally. So there are some chemicals here. These are the indicators, and these are the reagent bottles are there, and these are the some other. So we need to have the solid crystalline organic compound. Let us see from here. Right, I can see here the benzoic acid. Right, this is the solid crystalline compound benzoic acid. It is given here extra pure air analytical reagent. Right, we will perform this experiment with this chemical benzoic acid. Actually, this is the analytical reagent provided to the university from the chemical source, chemical company, which we can use for performing different experiments. But this is the, it says that extra pure, but still we can say that this compound, crystalline solid compound, white color benzoic acid, still contains some impurities. So in the process of recrystallization, it is already in the crystalline form. Now we will perform the experiment called as recrystallization, where this crystalline compound, solid white crystalline benzoic acid, will be mixed with a suitable solvent. Maybe water is used as a suitable solvent. We mix together, we boil the water, because benzoic acid dissolves only in hot water. Then we'll perform the filtration process, and again we'll make it freeze by adding the solid crystals of ice. Then we'll get the pure crystals of benzoic acid. So the pure, even though it is supplied from the bottle to the university, still it says that extra pure, but still contains impurities. So this benzoic acid which is there in this bottle, will take 2 grams of this benzoic acid and will perform the recrystallization process, and we'll get the pure crystals of benzoic acid. Then we can go for the melting point determination of these pure crystals which is obtained by this recrystallization process. Right? So this is experimental bench where we have the chemicals. So the title is recrystallization of benzoic acid. So for that purpose we need to have the chemicals, mainly the benzoic acid. This is the solid crystalline organic compound benzoic acid, extra pure analytical reagent. 2 grams is enough in 50 ml of beaker, and also we need to have the remaining other impurities also taken as the chemicals. That is sand is there here. We need to have some sand, and sugar also is needed. So here in this experiment, the amazing thing to understand is benzoic acid is not soluble in cold water. we need to heat the water up to 45 degrees centigrade temperature. Then only it will dissolve in water. And here the compound benzoic acid does not react with the water. It dissolves in water. And also it contains some insoluble impurities and also some soluble impurities. So those can be removed so that we can obtain the pure form of crystals, that is called as recrystallization. Now here it may contain some impurities which are not soluble and also soluble impurities. So now let us, for understanding, I would like to add some sand, 0.1 gram of sand to be added in this experiment along with the benzoic acid, which is insoluble until the experiment is completed. So after that I will add the soluble impurities called as the sugar, which is soluble in water but not react with the benzoic acid. So when the temperature is increased to 45 degrees centigrade temperature, when the water is boiled, benzoic acid completely dissolves in water, but sand does not dissolve in water. That is the interesting thing. And sugar dissolves in water. So after that, what happens is, after complete dissolution of benzoic acid, we will take out that hot water and filter the water containing sugar and sand particles. So when we filter that solution containing sand and sugar, the sand which is insoluble will be retained on the filter paper and can be removed. So from this we can understand that insoluble impurities. From this we can understand that insoluble impurities like sand and other particles which we don't know will be removed by means of first filtration with filter paper. But the filtrate thus obtained will be containing sugar plus benzoic acid. Now what happens is, after first filtration, immediately we need to cool the solution by adding the ice crystals, ice cubes. Then what happens is, here the benzoic acid, pure form of benzoic acid, will be separated as a crystalline, as a solid crystals separately, and the remaining sugar solution will be there in the water only. Then again we will perform the second filtration by using the filter paper. Then what happens is, the solid crystals, pure crystals will be retained on the filter paper, and that can be removed. That is called as the pure form of benzoic acid. And the remaining solution which is there in the as a filtrate, that contains sugar solution only, that can be discarded. Now the insoluble impurities has been separated in first filtration, that is sand particles along with some other particles what we don't know. And in the second filtration, soluble impurities called as the sugar will be separated because it dissolves in water. Finally, the product called as the true product, the pure crystals of benzoic acid is obtained, that can be dried for 3-4 hours time. Then it can be taken out. Then you will observe the crystals of pure form of benzoic acid is white, shining crystals are formed, whereas these crystals are not that much shiny because it contains impurities. So this is about the process what we have to do now. So finally the true product, shining white crystals are formed, that can be called as the recrystallized benzoic acid. Let us take just I have on the analytical balance. The apparatus are common for every experiment, as I told you. Analytical balance is must, and spatula is needed, beakers are needed, and the glass rod is needed to mix the solutions, and hot plate is also needed, ice crystals are needed, and distilled water. All these are called as the apparatus required. Now let us weigh the benzoic acid. So this is the weight of the paper. I am tearing it out, making it 0. Now I am taking the 2 grams. 2 grams of benzoic acid is enough. So let us weigh the 2 grams by using the spatula. Yes, no, it's exactly 2 grams. Right. So this is benzoic acid. Already hot water is boiling on the hot plate. We will dissolve this in that workbench area. Now I will take the sand particles, around 0.1 gram. This is a filter paper. I am tearing it. 0.1 gram is impurity, insoluble impurity. Yes. And the third one is, I am using the sugar also, 0.1 gram of sugar. also taken as a soluble impurity. Yes, right. Now these three, this is benzoic acid, the organic compound, this is sand, and this is sugar. Yes, so the water is slowly getting boiled. It needs 45 degrees centigrade temperature to dissolve the benzoic acid. Now let us add one by one. First, I am adding the sugar, which is a soluble impurity. 0.1 gram is added. Then the second impurity is I am adding the insoluble impurities. Sand is also added. And now I am adding the benzoic acid, 2 grams. Right. So now let us because benzoic acid is not soluble in cold water, we are heating the water. So now it will dissolve in hot water. So we can stir now slowly by using the glass bottle. So when we are stirring, the benzoic acid slowly dissolves in hot water, but sand does not dissolve in the hot water also, and sugar also dissolves. So let us see after complete dissolution, then we will filter the solution to remove the insoluble particles. Yes, now we can see the dissolution of the acid completely. It's a clear solution. Now we can make it filtration to remove the insoluble impurities called as sand or any other particles. So now let us make it off the heater. Now we will go for the filtration. This funnel is already kept ready, and we will filter this solution now. Yes, now you can see the clear solution. See, this is a clear solution containing benzoic acid plus water plus sugar. It is because sugar is soluble in this water. But whereas we can see the filter here, now the insoluble impurities like sand and other particles are retained on the filter paper like this. So now it can be discarded. And now this first filtration, we have separated the insoluble impurities called as sand and other particles. Now this solution is little bit hot. We'll cool it by using the ice cubes so that the crystals of pure benzoic acid will be formed into the solid particles. Crystals are formed. Then again we'll go for the filtration where we can separate the crystals of benzoic acid, and the remaining water solution containing sugar will be discarded. That is the end of the process. Now let us heat this into the ice crystals. Now these are the ice crystals. Okay, completely it is ice, so that we can keep this in the ice crystals, so that we will get the crystals of benzoic acid will be separated. Yes, now you can see the crystal formation very clearly. You can see here now. So this is the crystals that is formed. You can see all the benzoic acid collected at the bottom as a precipitate crystals are formed, and remaining water is also there. This water contains soluble sugar. Now this fine crystals which is formed will be filtered again by means of filter paper, so that we can separate the crystals of benzoic acid, what we need as a recrystallization product, and the remaining water containing sugar will be discarded. That is amazing experiment. Now let us filter this one containing this white shining crystals. Okay, so already filter paper is arranged here. Now we will go for the filtration slowly. You can see the pure water is coming, means containing the soluble sugar. But benzoic acid will be there on the filter paper. You can see the pure water plus sugar solution is formed. After filtration, after keeping for few hours, it was completely dry. We can see the crystals of benzoic acid very clearly on the inside the funnel. Let us take it out. This is the filter paper. Now we can see in the glass, watch glass. You can see. Yeah. You can observe now. Very shiny crystals are formed. This is nothing but the pure form of benzoic acid, recrystallized benzoic acid. See how it is very white color, shining crystals are there. So this is about the recrystallization of benzoic acid. Now after this we can perform the melting point of this pure crystals benzoic acid in the next video, that is experiment 2. Thank you.